guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassandra Marie, and if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. As you can see, you clicked on this video for a reason. I am going to be doing a how to get hired at MAC. So if you are interested in working for MAC and you want to learn how, then please keep watching. One little disclaimer, this is not going to guarantee you a job at MAC. Looking down, that is why. So tip number one, you should know, why do you want to work for MAC? Do you want to break into the beauty industry? Do you really like their products? Figure out why you want to work for MAC, and then if you are passionate about it, that will show. Two, you should know information and knowledge about MAC. You should be aware of their products. If you don't own them, you can go into the store and test them. You should know the history of MAC. So MAC stands for Makeup Artist Cosmetics. Frank Angelo and Frank Toscan started MAC in Ontario, Canada. It started in a kitchen with a chemist in 1984. First US store was in a Nordstrom. It was in New York City in 1990. It's good to already have this knowledge behind you, so you're already going in with facts. So Estee Lauder now owns MAC. They took over MAC in 1998, and they do own most of. To know about MAC is the social responsibilities of MAC. You will get trained on this stuff if you do get hired, but also it's good to know this stuff before you go into the interview, like I said, because it gives you an advantage, especially over other people. If you are doing a group interview, you will stand out. Abilities of MAC, the Viva Glam program. So I'm not going to go into exact details about it, but I'll give you like a little brief summary of each Viva Glam program. They have one that comes out every single month. It's usually a celebrity. Recently, there has been YouTube influencers who have been the Viva Glam representative, and a percentage, I forget the percentage of the proceeds, go to fighting HIV and AIDS. Another thing is the Back to MAC recycling program. When I worked there, I believe it was 6 items. For every 6 items, you got 1 free lipstick or eyeshadow, and in the pro stores and the freestanding stores, I believe it's a lipstick or an eyeshadow, or there's like one other item. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that, but I believe in just the counters, I think it's just the lipstick. Is the MAC AIDS Fund. You can research that. And then 4 is the Kids Helping Kids program. I'm not 100% sure about that. Motto is really, really important to know as well. It's all ages, all races, all sexes. That's really important to know, because that is what a lot of diversity throughout the company, throughout the counters, throughout the stores, throughout corporate, when you go to training. It's really good to go in with an open mind if you're going to work for the company, because that is their motto. That's another tip, is you should get familiar with whatever counter or store that you want to work for. If it's your local counter at a Macy's or a Nordstrom, you should go there frequently. If you're not going there on a regular basis to purchase your makeup, you should go there at least almost every time you go to the mall or you go to a Macy's or Nordstrom. You should stop in and say hi to them, make friends with the workers, make friends with the management, so they're familiar with you. Not in a stalker-ish kind of way, but just as a familiar face, frequent shopper, you know, hey, how's this going? I know you by a first name basis type of thing. If you are familiar with the people that work there, 9 times out of 10, you have an advantage because they already know you, they know your personality. You go ahead and apply. Resume, bring your knowledge, be confident. Do not second guess yourself. Picture yourself already having the job, envision yourself already having the job, and go in there with that same confidence, okay? Wait for them to call you. Don't call them. If they say and they state, do not call us, we will call you, don't call them. Please don't. It, like me working at a counter and people that will call back every single day, like, I'm checking the status of my application, I'm checking. So that, I know it's really hard and you really want this position, but you have to wait it out. You have to be patient. So what you should wear to your interview. MAC is big on textures. Yes, they want you to wear black clothing. Another thing a lot of people don't tell you is they want you to wear freshly black clothing. What I mean by freshly black clothing is it needs to be jet black and new looking. It cannot be like a faded black or a dingy black or anything like that. If it's been through the wash a couple times and it's starting to look a brownish type of color, they do not like that. Even if you're working there, they tell you you have to have clean, crisp, fresh black clothes. Another thing that one of my trainers told me is that I would wear solid black and I would wear cotton a lot. I would not switch up my textures. So I have an example of what you should wear texture. So if you think the Kardashians do this a lot. They mix and match textures. So if their top is one texture, their bottom is not going to be the same texture. So for example, I have this shirt here. This is like a see-through sheer type of top. This would be something that you could wear to MAC, right? You'd wear it with something under it, of course, like a tank top or something, but this is the type of top you could wear. So if you are going to wear this type of top, then for example, the type of bottoms you should wear are something like this. Do you see how it's a different texture? It's like that spandexy type texture. It's not sheer, it's not the same as the top, it is two different textures. So you will just appear to look a lot better than some of the other candidates, especially if you're doing a group interview, because when I did my makeup application interview, it was with 2 other girls. So you will stand out right away if you have that texture part down with the makeup. When you come with your makeup done, my impression of MAC was you have to have a beat face, you have to have this Instagram face, you have to have this Instagram baddie, almost drag queen like makeup, like it has to be beat to the gods, contour has to be like perfect, you know what I mean? Like everything I thought I should have done. My manager at the time, when I wear makeup, I wore a smoky eye, a nude lip, like full face, full glam, super contour, super highlight, and she was like, why did you wear this makeup? And I was like, I felt like this was MAC. And she's like, okay, why did you think that? And she told me that a lot of people have this misconception that that's what MAC is, and nowadays MAC is definitely more skin base. It's more fresh face. It's not that Instagram, sorry about my hands, guys. It's not that Instagram baddie look, to be honest. They do a lot of neutrals. They focus on a lot of skin. They focus on a lot of strobing instead of highlighting and powders. And they do a lot of sheer coverage and medium coverage and all these different things that you wouldn't really think of, and a lot of things that they don't talk about on social media, because social media makeup is so trending, and cut creases are so trending, and glitter cut creases are so trending, and overlined lips are so trending. They don't really talk about the real makeup industry. Like when I went to training, I honestly felt like Andy from Devils Wears Prada, when they had the turquoise belt and they had the other turquoise belt, and they're like, oh my god, they're so different. And then Andy laughs like, are you kidding me? They're like the same. People at training would put lip gloss on their eyelids, and then everyone else in the room was like, oh yes. And I was like, what? What are you guys doing? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I would never think to do that. I would never think that that looks good. But for editorials and for runway and for fashion week, that is legit what they do. And then what they do is they try to take that editorial makeup and that fashion week makeup, and they try to make that transfer into the everyday life of the everyday girl, and how that can be wearable, and how she can do that, and how we could imitate that look as a wearable everyday product. So that's more so their goal of what they're trying to do, as opposed to, I want to look like so and so on social media, I want to imitate this look on social media. That's not 100% what MAC is about. I would go in with an open mind to the makeup as well, and don't follow the trends of the past, because MAC is always evolving every single year. Go into it with an open mind, and don't just have one set that this is how I have to look, this is how my makeup has to be. those two things I just wanted to touch on because no one ever touched on the makeup and no one ever touched on the attire in detail. And that's something that I thought was very important when you're going in, because presentation is everything. Believe it or not, showing up is half of the job, and presentation 90% of the time is it too. Like, your first impression is 10 seconds. So within them seeing your makeup, within them seeing your outfit, they already formed an impression about you, whether you like it or not. So I think that's really important. Your personality and your passion will definitely shine through. Hard work and dedication is very important as well. That will definitely show through, but 100% bring your A game to the table with your wardrobe and your makeup. That will definitely get your foot in the door. I promise you. I promise you. Can't guarantee you a job, but I promise you, you'll leave a lasting impression. I recommend that you bring a cover letter. Try to know who the manager is. Your resume, you will need to bring in a model for your makeup interview, or they'll ask you to do a specific look, or maybe a focus group. Like if they tell you to do like eyes, or they tell you to do a lip look, they most likely will tell you what you should be doing, and then you'll have to execute that. It is more of like a timed interview. You have a certain time limit to do it, then they will stop you, they will look at your model, and they will critique you. Another thing, you should have tough skin. You should be open to constructive criticism, because working for MAC, you will have a lot of constructive criticism. It's not there to harm you. It is there to help you. It is there to make you a better artist, and it's there to make you a better, so you can sell better, and so your artist should become better as a makeup artist, so you can grow. It is not there to hurt your feelings. It's not somebody picking on you specifically. And if you don't have tough skin, a lot of the times I've seen girls, and even myself sometimes, beat myself up because it can be misconstrued as harsh words, or someone's picking on me, or anything like that. So I would say just have tough skin with the constructive criticism part, even during the interview, and when you do get the job, speaking it to an existence for you. When you do get the job, on the job, also just take that constructive criticism as a grain of salt and try to listen to it to help yourself grow. It's really there to help. They will give you a call back for sure, and yeah, from there then you will do your onboarding. My training was 2 weeks in a different city. It was really thorough. It was like one of the best experiences ever. We stayed in this awesome hotel. Yeah, it was just awesome. So every company is different. I'm not sure if Counter's like that, but the freestanding store was definitely like that. So those are my tips and tricks on how to get hired at MAC. I don't think I have anything else for you guys except I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you in my next video.